been so selfish, and I can't stop thinking about you and what I did and how it's affecting like everything. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I really am sorry.
Oh, crow on me? Are you? I don't even know if you're allowed to show knives on Twitch, but bro, look at this knife I got, bro.
So I have Celeste's full medical report, and I'm going to show you guys it. It is disturbing what he allegedly did to her. Okay, this is the full details of how she passed away, how they found her in the frunk, separated in different parts, to the description. Like I said, it is disturbing of what allegedly he has done to her. And not only that, for you guys that's been following me, you know I've been on this case forever. Is there videos, okay, of him holding the weapon that he used against her? We're going to look at that. I'm going to show you guys this and let me know, what do you think? Was this the weapon that was used against her? Stay tuned, Fugitive TV. Welcome to Fugitive TV. I am your host, Ray Marcel. And what we do here is we take a look at cases of missing individuals, unsolved crimes, or cases that need a different type of look or spotlight. Now, see, I was once a fugitive on the run from the law myself. I ran for 15 years. I lived in different countries under different names, turned myself in. And now what I'm doing now is I have this YouTube channel. I own multiple businesses, and I help family members locate missing individuals or locate people that need to be brought to justice, because, hey, I know what it's like to be on a run. So I know how they think, act, and everything. So why not a person like me to help people out and catch them? Well, you guys that's been following me know I have been on David from day one when this first happened. I've interviewed people down the street that live with Celeste. I interviewed a potential victim's parent. I brought so many details to this case. It is unreal, okay? So many. I've even submitted evidence that I have found, okay? Digital evidence I have found, I actually have submitted. Now, I don't know if they're going to use any of it or not, but I've submitted it. Now, I have the full medical examination report, the full report, okay? And I'm going to show you guys this report, and I'm going to read it to you and break it down, because what is going on in this report, it is very disturbing. Now, we know David is the famous singer who was about to release an album called Romantic Homicide, okay? So he didn't get to release it because a girl named Celeste Rivas, she was found in the front of David's Tesla, decomposed and pretty much cut up. Okay, they found her back, I believe it was in September 8th, I think it was. We're going to go over the dates, but I believe it was September 8th without looking, of last year. David parked or actually not David. David was on tour at the time, and somebody parked the Tesla in front of his house, like pretty much right down the street from his house. And neighbors were complaining that the car's never been moved, and also there's a smell coming from the car. So tow truck came, towed the car, towed it to a tow yard, and then at the tow yard, the workers like, this thing smells like somebody died in it. So they called the police. Law enforcement came, opened up the front of the vehicle, and sure enough, they found a body bag. They unzipped it. Inside the first body bag was a head and torso, and then there was another bag underneath that with other body parts. Not only that, there's a couple body parts that are missing, you guys, missing. And I don't see on the report that they found what's missing. So this right here could be the key to, hey, you did this, and this is why you did this, okay? So I'm going to tell you guys about this, all right? Why this connects. So let's take a look at this report. Okay, so this is from the County of Los Angeles Department of Medical Examiner. It says death investigation summary, and it gives you the case number, and it says the name, Rivas Hernandez Celeste, Abigail, and pronounced date September 8th, 2025 at 11 a.m. Date of examination September 10th, 2025. Then it gives you the examiner's names who examined it. So we're going to go into, it has the medical summary, okay? Now it says 2 penetrating wounds of the torso, right abdomen with injury to liver, left chest with penetrating of underlying costal space and disruption of adjacent ribs. Now, pretty much it's saying 2 penetrating wounds to the torso, as in she was stabbed. That's what it's saying. So it's saying that David allegedly took a sharp object, a knife, and did this. Now, like I said, later when we're done with this, I'm going to show you what he probably used against her. Okay. And then it goes on to say other findings: bladderal dismemberment of upper and lower extremities, multiple additional skin defects. Okay. And then it says, per medical examiner investigators report, this 15-year-old female, Celeste Abigail Rivas Hernandez, was found dismembered in a state of decomposition inside of a car trunk on September 8, 2025. It says she was pronounced dead on the scene. Autopsy examination was limited by extensive post-mortem changes. These are 2 penetrating wounds of the torso with smooth edges. They may represent sharp force injury. So two wounds that they're saying was done with sharp edges, a knife. All right. The wound on the upper abdomen penetrates the liver, and the wound on the left chest penetrates one of the left intercostal spaces with disruption of the adjacent ribs. Surfaces, the left lung appears intact. So I'm not going to even try to explain to you what that last part means. All I know is I can say is that it was done on the left side. All right. So one was definitely on the left side. Now, I don't know if both of these are on the left side, but there's actually a diagram it's going to show you too. All right. It says the bilateral upper and lower extremities show full thickness, dismember, multiple other skin and soft tissue defects are present without apparent associated internal injuries. All right. And then it goes on to say, so we know the gist of it. The gist of it is that he used a knife. All right. Now, this right here is saying they did do a toxicology report. Now we're going to go into what was found in her system, because they did find narcotics in her system, but we're going to get into that and possibly maybe why it was in her system. It says, given the history and circumstances as certainly known by me and a setting of the findings by examination and studies in absence of other definitive causes of death, the cause of death is multiple penetrating injuries. The manner of death is classified as a homicide. So it says, all right, she died from the 2 injuries that we just discussed, that I just read to you guys. All right. And they're saying it is a homicide, meaning she did not do this to herself. Somebody else did this to her. Now it says right here, we're going to go down to, now right here, it just pretty much tells you the sections. Okay. The sections that they perform, because it's a full, like I said, this is the full medical report. So if you've never seen one, this is one out of Los Angeles County, and this is what it looks like, the full medical report. All right. So it says prior post-mortem procedures, radiology reviewed, yes. Organ tissue donation, no. Mortuary preparation, no. So they didn't have to prep her for the morgue. Keep going. General examination. And then it tells you the race, Hispanic, female, body weight. She was only 71 pounds. Okay. 71 pounds is all she was. Such a little girl. Now, the 71 pounds, you got to remember, she was also decomposing very badly. It's going to get into that. Okay. So it also says extremities. Other extremities, see evidence of traumatic injury. It says see evidence of traumatic injury. All right. So then right here it says postmortem changes, scars none, tattoos, fingers right. It has the word shh. Has the word shh. Let me show you something real quick. Where is it at? All right. So you see that right there? On his finger, he has shh. Now, I mean, it is a popular tattoo because you can see Rihanna has one too, but it has shh. And when it came to Celeste, she also had a tattoo with shh, all right? But we're also going to get into a tattoo that, or I should say a finger that was missing. She had a finger missing. And I'm going to explain to you why that finger was missing, okay? And it goes into facial hair, none, hair was long. Then right here it says eye color. This is very disturbing. Eye color. Description, cannot assess due to severe post-mortem changes. This is how long she was dead, that they couldn't even tell her eye color. Okay? So sad. It even tells you other things they couldn't access due to severe post-mortem changes. Okay? Conjunctiva, I don't even know what that is, but they couldn't access it due to post-mortem changes. Even the facial, they couldn't access a lot of things because she was dead for so long. Okay, so oral captivity says good detention, upper and lower teeth. So all her teeth were there. Now we're going to keep going down to the next page. This is page 5. It says post-mortem changes, livor mortis. It says indescribable, rigor mortis is absent, so it's showing no rigor mortis yet. Okay, let's keep going down. Now it says the order in which the injuries are described is for descriptive purposes only. It is not intended to imply sequences of injuries. All medical examiner diagrams are not intended to be they drawn to scale. All right, now down here it shows a skin defect. It says 3/4 of an inch. Okay, entrance involving the right abdomen. So on the right side, 21 inches below the top of the head, and 1 inch right of the midline is a 3/4 inch length penetrating wound with smooth edges. The wound is orientated in a 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock direction path. The wound track perforates the skin and soft tissue of the right abdomen and liver. All right. Depth. The wound track has approximately depth of 1 to 1.5 inches. Direction is from the front to back. So it shows you, okay, or tells you front to back, and it says how deep it is. It's 1 to 1.5 inches. All right, is what it's saying. How deep it is. Actually, sorry, it's saying 1.5 to 1/4 of an inch is what it's saying. All right, and it says the wound is orientated in the 3 and 9 o'clock directions. All right, so basically, it's not 12 and 6. It's like this. Okay. That would be 3 and 9, right? 12, 1, 2. Yeah, 3 and 9. So it's saying it's like this, not like that, like this. Okay. The next one says 9/16 of an inch. Involving the lateral left lower chest, 15 inches below the top of the head, and 6 inches left of the midline is a 9/16 inch penetrating wound with smooth edges path. The wound track perforates the skin and soft tissue of the lateral left lower chest. Okay. It says the depth of the wound is at least 2 inches. Left to right. So the direction is left to right on that one. So once again, I guess it's going at that 3-9 direction like this. All right. So like if you have a knife, you know, a lot of times you would think like this, but it was like this. So he's holding it like this, but the knife is face is like this. All right, let's go down here. It says multiple skin defects are also present over the torso, with many perforating the skin and soft tissue without inflatable soft tissue, hemorrhage, or associated internal organ injuries. They range from 5/16 to 1/3 inches in greatest dimension. Multiple superficial linear abrasions are also noted on the right dorsal hand. So it's saying that on the right hand, there's multiple abrasions on the hand. The upper and lower extremities show full thickness dismemberment with relatively flat cut surfaces through the soft tissue and bone. No says no discriminable hemorrhage is identified at these sites. Multiple fragments of blue plastic material are found embedded in the cut surfaces. Representative fragments are collected by medical examiner and submitted to the evidence department on September 8, 2025. The right upper extremity is dismembered 9 inches from the top of the shoulder. The left upper extremity dismembered 6 inches from the top of the shoulder. The left fourth and fifth fingers are amputated. The right lower extremity is dismembered in 2 places. One site is 12 inches from the top of the leg, and the other is 10 inches from the bottom of the heel. The left lower extremity is dismembered in 2 places. One side is 9 inches from the top of the leg, and the other is 15 inches from the bottom of the heel. So basically, it sounds like not only was he chopping him and somebody else chopped the limbs, they took the limbs and chopped them in the limbs even in multiple pieces. Oh man, this is very sick. And then it says it was blue fragments. Okay, so there were blue fragments in the choppings. Now they're saying the choppings were smooth, as in they used something very sharp to do this. Because listen, guys, trying to cut through human bone and cut through somebody and do all this, it's hard. I've never done it at all, but I've researched on it, and I've talked to some people who have committed some crimes to where they can tell you, if you poke somebody with a knife, a lot of times, especially in the muscle is going to grab onto the knife really tight. So, you watch the movies and they're like this or whatever. Sometimes it's not like that, because if the muscle grabs on too tight, it's harder to pull it back out. Now, if your adrenaline's going, sometimes you don't realize that, just using all your strength. But it says that she was pretty much chopped up smooth, almost like chop, like how you would chop chicken or ribs on a counter. Oh my God, this is crazy. Then it says organs in normal atomic position, yes. Right pleural cavity smooth. So basically it's saying everything cavities were smooth. We're going to keep going down. All right. Right here it says pretty much it's talking about the heart valves. They're all saying that everything was there. We're going to keep going. Artery talks about the arteries here. All that, the lungs, how much it weighed, everything looked like it was there, okay? Now, right here, it does tell you the samples that we're taking, okay? So samples included fingernails, liver, jawbone, and bone. All right, so they did take those for samples. And of course, fingernails usually, so you can scrape any DNA, that, like, if a person attacks you, you scratch them. A lot of times there's DNA under their fingernails. A lot of people have been caught that way. So many. Now, right here is the toxicology report. Okay, toxicology report, the tox. Right here is going to tell you they go through fentanyl, cocaine, they go through everything. Now, the one thing that is included is designer opioids. Okay, LCMS designer opioids. Then it tells you methamphetamine. All right. So methamphetamine was in her system as long as designer opioids. Now let's look at this. Liquid chromatography, Landauer mass spectrometry. I don't even know. I'm not a narcotics guy or user, so I don't even know what that is. But it's the preferred analytical technique for the indication and qualification of designer opioids, also known as synthetic opioids. So pretty much it's synthetic opioids that was found in her system. I had to look that up for myself. And along with the methamphetamine. So we're gonna discuss that. Why these two could have been in her system. We will discuss that. All right. Now, right here, it shows the body, of course, right? Now here, if you look right here, these 2 fingers on her left hand were absent. I'm going to show you why these 2 fingers are absent. Let me show you right here why they were absent. Watch this. Right here, guys. Her left ring and pinky fingers were amputated, but the body diagram shows her right finger that says shh. You see this hand right here? You see that hand? That was Celeste's picture, guys. That was a picture of Celeste's own hand. Her finger had David on it. So he took the finger off because his name was on there. What did he do with the finger? Did he take it off because he didn't want to get caught and say, hey, that can connect me? Did he take it off because he wanted a collection piece? But these 2 fingers were missing. And this one was missing because his name was on it, guys. Like I said, very disturbing, okay? Now we're going to get into, let's see here. It says 2 hour, so this was a 2-hour autopsy, okay? So this was done within 2 hours. It's pretty much what's it's saying. Now it says information is preliminary and subject change due to ongoing investigations. According to reported information, on 8/26/25, a passerby reported an abandoned Tesla that was parked on the street to Los Angeles Department of Transportation. Employees cited the vehicle. Now, the employees went and cited the vehicle on September 3rd. Then they impounded the vehicle on September 5th and then towed the vehicle September 8th is when the manager noticed that foul smell and then called the detective, and that's when the detective came over. Now, detective inspected the vehicle's front trunk and found a large bag, zipper body bag with handles. He partially unzipped the bag, revealing a human torso in the back of a head. He pronounced dead at the scene at 1100 hours without medical intervention. All right. Now we're going to go here. It says informant witness statement. I spoke with LAPD West Bureau homicide detective on the scene. He prefaced his statement by informing me that his case has been actively transferred, or the case was being transferred to LAPD robbery and homicide division. Information is preliminary, subject to change due to ongoing investigation. All right. Then it goes on to describe again, exactly the day that they found the car, and they go on to describe that as well. Now it says also no weapons recovered, and the person in the car, they found at that time, who was Celeste, but at the time didn't know who she was. Okay. The location on the second story of the police garage impound lot, situated on the northwest corner of North Mansfield Avenue, Roma Street, there are multiple miscellaneous vehicles parked throughout the lot. So Celeste was lying inside the front trunk of the Tesla. Then it tells you how the Tesla was parked. The front trunk was open and yellow police tape surrounded the nearest vehicle, including the Tesla. So this is the detective, because, they have to write down everything that happened. So this is when he showed up. Police already had it, taped off. From a distance, a black body bag was visible and exposed inside the front of the car. I did not observe any illicit drugs, drug paraphernalia, alcohol on the scene, or weapons located during my scene examination. Then right here, it goes down to, it says, I observed the posterior head and torso lying prone in a body bag inside the front trunk of the Tesla. Her head was orientated towards the north. She appeared of intermediate age. So she appeared of intermediate age and ethnicity with dark hair and natural teeth. She was wearing a tube top, underwear, leggings, and socks. I observed multiple holes in the front and back of the tube top. She was missing both arms above the elbows, both legs above the knees. Man, this is so sad. Underneath the body bag was a black trash bag that contained Celeste's apparent complied her arms and legs. They appeared to have been dismembered into several fragments. So was right. Even the legs and arms are cut up into pieces. So Celeste was in an advanced state of decomposition, demonstrated by foul odor, discoloration, liquefaction. So wow, so she was even liquefying at that part. Insect activity, partial skeletonization, and skin slippage. I noted an approximate 1-inch liner defect on her abdomen and a circular defect on her left flank. The left ring and pinky fingers appear to have been mutilated, and I did not locate them during my scene examination. So yeah, he cut those off. Wow. She has a tattoo that reads shh on the inside of her right index finger. I did not observe any scars or tattoos. So it says Celeste was not ID'd viewable due to decomposition of the face and was not live scanned due to waterlogged fingerprints. She was assigned Jane Doe. My God. And then on September 16, 2025, at 815 hours, Dr. Law positively identified her as Celeste Abigail Rivas Hernandez through her dental records. Man, this is so sad. So sad. Really, really sad. Then it tells you the evidence that was collected. Leggings collected, underwear collected, 2 pairs of socks, shirt, body bag handles, body bag side handles. All right, so on this page, it says Celeste was wearing a discolored tube top shirt, discolored underwear, black leggings, and black socks. All right. The shirt appeared to have 3 cut artifacts. The leggings were cut around the knees. So the leggings were cut around the knees, with the upper portion of the torso and the lower portions rolled down to both ankles and feet. At the cut site of the right leg attached to the torso, there were small blue plastic pieces. Also, the legs and arms from the trash bag had small blue plastic pieces at the cut site. I wonder what those small blue plastic pieces are. I wonder what that could be. What did he use? Wonder what that was. So it says evidence collected. Okay. So right here it says the body bag, trash bag, even the insects were collected. Hair kit collected, and hair kit package sealed into a black bag. Insects collected in a plastic container with 70% alcohol and package sealed into a brown paper bag. Swabs of the side handles of the body bag, and they took a bunch of swabs. Now, the one thing I do know as well is that so disturbing. Her head, okay? It was you really her face was almost gone. It was almost just a skeleton with hair. One eye was pretty much gone, and then the other eye was slipping out. Oh my God. Like I said, very, very disturbing. Now, this right here is a picture of a knife from David. Now, this picture was actually posted by Steve Fisher Investigates. Now, he is the private investigator that the landlord hired. David was living at a house that was being rented out. And when the landlord kicked David out, the landlord hired Steve Fisher as a private investigator because I get it. That's his home. It's a multi-million-dollar home. He wants to see if this girl was possibly unalived in the house, you know, because maybe now he has to disclose that when he has to rent it out, or if he wants to sell it. So I get it. He wants to see exactly what went on in the house. But this right here is a picture David posted that's in downtown LA. He was also with Celeste that night. Now, this is on the night of December 30th, the morning of December 31st, 2024. David and Celeste were together in downtown Los Angeles, where several photos were taken in public. Celeste was 14 years old, so she just turned 14 at that time because her birthday, I don't remember her birthday. You guys help me out, but I know her birthday was later on in the year. It's like September, October. I can't remember, but I know she was when they found her, she was 14. She was about to turn 15. So she was 14 she just turned 14 pretty much. All right. Then it says there's no evidence together of them again on January 2nd through 25. But yeah, this is a picture of him holding a knife. All right. So we're going to take a look at something else. All right. So him holding up the knife. Right. Then another picture of him holding up the knife. Now, do you guys remember how deep they said the wounds were, right? Remember? The wounds, if you really think about it, were not that deep. They said the wounds were, what was it? 1.5 inches was one of them to 1.25 inches. And then the other wound was 2 inches. If you look at that blade, all right, that blade looks like it's maybe a 2-inch blade, maybe a possibly 3-inch blade. You could tell and you can measure it to his thumb. A lot of times, one of the rules is if you want to measure something real quick, okay, from the tip of your thumb to your knuckle, you can approximately say that is 1 inch. So you can kind of use that to be like, okay, this is 1 inch. So your whole thumb, usually it's about 2 to maybe 3 inches. So you can kind of measure his thumb compared to the blade of the knife. And you can see that knife is about 2 to 3 inches. Now when a lot of times when somebody gets stabbed, the whole knife is not going in them all the way, to the handle a lot of times. So it makes sense of why, the wound was, 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So could it have been this knife? Now we're not done with this knife, guys. We're definitely not done. So if you thought that was it, take a look at this video. This video, I don't know if it's the same knife or not, but he's definitely holding another one.
Chrome me. I don't even know if you're allowed to show knives on Twitch, but bro, look at this knife I got, bro. Chromium, chromacopia, chromacopia. Oh, you said don't show it? You can't? I can't? Are you for real?
Now, during this video, if you look at the date, okay, the date of this video, actually, it's still on his TikTok. It was on April 23rd, 2025, okay? April 23rd, 2025. You know why that date is important? Because that is the same date they're saying that he did this to Celeste, April 23rd, 2025. So was this video taken after he did it to Celeste or before? Some people are speculating, if you look in the back on the right-hand side of your screen, that's Celeste's handbag sitting on the armchair of the sofa. He also has recordings of Celeste that he saved, voicemail recordings. Now, this was back at the end of 2024. They were, I guess, going through some sort of breakup and going back together again. I have text messages, actually that's from Celeste, not from her, but I have text messages that Celeste was talking to her friend, okay? So I know at that time they were going some sort of breakup. So he actually saved voicemail recordings of her, and he intentionally was going to use these recordings for his album, but didn't put them on the album. I wonder why.
I've been so selfish and I can't stop thinking about you and what I did and how it's affecting like everything. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I tried. You're special, David. I got a question.
What's the question?
Why don't you hold my hands anymore?
Oh, here we go again, bro.
Nah, I'm so serious.
Bro,
I'm so serious. Like,
all right, continue.
I haven't held your hand. Shoot.
Sorry.
Like, you're not funny. I swear you're not funny.
I'm done.
Let me think.
But so the timing.
it could have been yesterday. So it could have been yesterday.
Wow, yeah, I'm glad you remember that. I'm glad.
Period.
Yeah, I hate when you say period, man. All right. I got a question for you now.
Okay.
Why do you think we met? Yeah, why do you think we met?
Well, I think personally, have you ever heard of the invisible strength theory?
Oh yeah.
Exactly that. So basically, we met because we were supposed to meet.
Okay.
And we're connected because we're supposed to be connected. It's kind of like that. I loved you before I existed, and I love you even when I die. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's weird. It's strange. It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
So don't leave me.
No, you got it.
Okay.
You got it.
All right.
Then you have this video of him talking. I believe this was April 25th, right 2 days after allegedly what happened to Celeste. All right. So
I want everything to feel holistic and have a through line that everybody could understand. And with the interlude, it's kind of explaining from my perspective how it was taught to me, because that's a real conversation that happened. And the irony of it was that person that was saying, I love you, she's not in my life anymore.
So I figure I bring you guys this medical examiner's report. Now we know exactly how she passed. Oh man, I can't even imagine what she probably went through. Very disturbing. Now, you know, they did find opioids and meth in her system. Now, I'm wondering if they gave her that. See, I'm not really into narcotics or anything like that, but for you guys that are familiar with it, do you think they could have gave her that? Like David and whoever he was with could have gave her that for some reason? I don't know. Now, here's the thing. I had a feeling they were going to find some sort of narcotic in her system because TMZ, once again, they were trying to report that it was an accident, that she OD'd and they didn't know what to do. If you remember, TMZ was saying that. And I still think that might be the defense's argument. I think they might say she OD'd off meth or the opioid. I still think they're going to say that, even though the medical examiner, we read it together, says that her death was from the stab wounds, not from the tox. But I still think we're going to go that direction because of what TMZ said. And not only that, David's lawyer is friends with Harvey from TMZ. So is it possible that maybe they gave her that? So I don't know, to numb her, put her to sleep? I have no idea. Because allegedly he was waiting at the house for her. So who took her to the house? Who took her? A question that I've noticed nobody said anything. They're saying he was lying in wait for her. So if he was lying in wait for her, who took her to him? Who else is involved? But you guys let me know below. What do you think? All right. Let me know what you think below. Comment the city, the state, the country you're from. Thank you for watching. Please help me get to 25,000 subscribers, you guys. We are almost there. One of the fastest growing channels in the true crime sector on YouTube. Thank you. Like I said, like, subscribe, turn on your notification bells. Please look out for one another. Watch your surroundings. Look out for your surroundings. Until next time, this is Fugitive TV, and I'm out.